going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Are you going to do that?
Yeah, I mean that is correct. Yeah.
That's correct. Okay, so can we both agree?
What was the context of what I said there?
What was the context? I don't even want to get into DEI because your opinion on DEI doesn't really help in this case. So, if the context between what you
oh, this is Charlie Kirk. He's actually somebody I look up to because he is not afraid to speak his mind.
Whether black, white, whoever has to go through FAA certification.
No, actually,
we can't.
New lawsuit shows that black pilots and female pilots have the standards being relaxed.
No, sir. Can we agree at the time of February 29th or 2023 when you said it at the time? No.
No, actually, I said it. That's why you don't know the context. Is that new lawsuits were showing that they were relaxing the standards for air traffic control and pilots in order to meet the standards.
The context of that was diversity, equity, and inclusion. What does that have to do with hiring?
Everything. DEI definitionally is that we will hire more of a race versus a different race. So, for example, United Airlines said that they want 50% of their new pilots to either be women or black. Okay. Currently, just so you understand, it's like 8%. So they want to go from 8% to 50%.
Okay.
And every time DEI is implemented, every single time, the lowering of standards occurs. Every single time.
Lowering of standards?
Correct. So can I prove it to you? We both want excellence, right?
Okay.
If you and
yeah, and Tifa, if you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, he's a good Christian man. He's not afraid to say what he believes in or use facts. That's how we should all be. Just speaking what the truth and the facts are.
No, if we said 50%, if we say
50% of the NBA dropped and it was only white.
No, I said
would the standards go down?
I'm not hearing what I'm saying. If 50% of all new people going in the NBA were white, by decree, would the quality of play of the NBA decrease?
Would the quality of play in the NBA decrease?
Yeah.
No, if they're the same standard of basketball play.
Hold on, let's talk realistic.
Well, what are you saying realistically? You're asking me if
75% of the NBA is black. 75%.
So does that mean white players are less better, or does that mean
whites are not as good at basketball as blacks?
Okay.
I mean, we got some big.
Everybody, calm down.
We got some big exceptions. I mean, we're very proud of Larry Bird. Okay.
No,
and we're very proud of Luka and Nikola.
John Stockton. Don't forget about him. Utah Jazz.
Let's implement DEI in the NBA.
Okay.
If all of a sudden 50% of all the players have to be white, which means they have to say no to otherwise good black players.
There was a time where this happened, right?
Well, no, of course, and the league wasn't as good. That's the point.
No, you understand that there was a time where the exclusion of African American players was in the NBA, right?
No, for sure. I acknowledge that, and the league got better as blacks were allowed in.
Did it get better, or did we just integrate ourselves in?
Well, hold on, no, but wait,
the players.
75% of the NBA is black.
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, well, it was a certain point around 1965
why
where
is
a law passed where we can actually.
Why is it that 75% of the NBA is black?
Because we integrated into the league.
No, because the best players are allowed to play in the NBA.
Well, actually, the best players in the NBA are European born. Well, they're not even African American.
I mean, a couple of them are. As I said, we're very proud.
No, we're very integrated within sports, but what does that prove?
That proves that the NBA is not built on DEI, it's built on excellence.
No, the NBA isn't proof. So when you mention DEI, you're now saying it's
you obviously don't know what DEI is. DEI.
I know what DEI is. If you're not giving me a proper explanation.
DEI is racial quotas.
Racial quotas?
Yes. You've never heard of DEI before. So, do you know what a racial quota is? You have to have a certain amount of a certain race. That is what United Airlines did. We must get to 50% of our pilots to be black or women. Therefore, if the NBA said 50% of our players have to be white, I guarantee you, we can.
Keep in mind, all of this is true, and this is debating with facts and statistics. But the last 4 years, we weren't allowed to say certain things because it was considered sensitive. I mean, I don't have anybody like fucking getting my back. You know, I don't have all this shit, you know, that... We'll just continue watching.
We could try to get as many Serbs and Croats as possible. It's not going to make the NBA the best league. Instead, the NBA has a policy of which the NBA and the FAA and the United Airlines should have the same policy. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It matters how good you are at what you do. So excellence matters.
Exactly.
Okay. So what you're saying is... everybody's good? So what you're saying is the NBA
is a great example of...
No, it's a bad example. Because in the example that I gave you, I said when you say a black or female pilot might be less qualified because of DEI, what you're implying is that they didn't earn their spot.
Correct, they didn't, because that's what DEI does.
That's what you're implying?
Because you're there because of the quota, not because of excellence.
Does DEI give you the opportunity because of who you are, or does it open up access?
No, it gives it because of literally the color of your skin.
Charlie, you are quoted by saying that, guys, Charlie...
Everyone knows the quote because it's true. When you hire somebody...
true?
It's true because they are there not because of their merit, but because of a racial quota. Why is it that only 8% of pilots right now for United Airlines are black or female?
It's actually 3%.
Oh, that proves my point even more.
No, it doesn't. It's... Guys, DEI is the reason why they're not in these positions. But it's because they're... Listen!
Man, you are making no sense at all.
This is a liberal mindset.
No, explain to me what...
Equity, and inclusion is the... Sorry, okay.
The world's so unfair. The world's so bad.
Equity and inclusion is the reason as to why accesses are now open to certain races.
Said it from day one. I don't want somebody in the foxhole with me who got the job because of their skin color.
Was it equal opportunity?
I never
or was it
will.
Equal access?
But whoever's in that foxhole with me without DEI earn their spot, whether they're black or white.
I could not go to college in 1964 with a free
So how can you
ride,
call it
free
racism?
tuition, but you could, Charlie.
I call it people are just butthurt. And
crazy.
That's really what it comes down to.
How does that impact you? And wait, do you have a free ride right now?
Do I have a free ride right now?
Yeah.
I go to school.
Who pays your tuition?
Who pays my tuition?
Yeah.
Taxpayers.
You just said you have a free ride.
I don't
Wait, hold on.
I said in 1964,
No. So it's 2025. Let's stay focused on today.
So in 2025, even with equal opportunity and open access,
it's not.
That's what diversity, equity, and inclusion is. It opened up access for people like me to get these opportunities.
But so someone has to pay for your college. Who's paying for it?
You're saying someone has to pay for my college?
Yeah. So taxpayers are paying for
my college. Deposit the money into the bank right now.
Well, they
show me your bank account. It's taxes.
Wait,
Charlie Kirk,
this is a publicly funded institution. But
the publicly funded institution, we are one of the it's top three. ISU, University of Illinois Champaign, and the University of Illinois Chicago. 3 schools, universities that are getting funded more than other universities in Chicago. So yes, we do get funded more. Yes, I'm well more access to get a free ride. But what if I went to Chicago State University? Right. Would I get a free ride then?
But you don't.
I wouldn't recommend anyone goes to Chicago State.
Why not?
Why not? It's a terrible school.
Well, Charlie, are they funded?
I don't know the specifics, but
no.
It's not exactly a reputation of a great school.
I can tell you, Illinois State.
It is not a funding
Illinois State gets 92% of funding in the state of Illinois for universities, for public universities. Chicago State gets basically none, virtually none.
Okay, great.
What you're saying is, it was opened up accesses. What I'm presenting to you is that the access that I was allowed.
Okay, so what do you mean by access? What
do I mean by access?
How do black people not have access to a better life in America? What's preventing them?
What's preventing black people from having a better life in America?
Yes. What's preventing them?
See what he says?
Oh, hold on. No. Police. How many unarmed black men die? How many unarmed black men die from the hands of police every year? Nationally.
Are you serious?
How many?
Charlie Kirk, we're talking about something.
It's a good point here. So, you really got into the left and everything they're going to come at you with to combat it. Statistics and facts are the best way. So this guy brought up things that are holding black society back. One of the first things he said was police. So this guy, Charlie Kirk, who's amazing, he responds with, okay, so if that's the case, let's go ahead and grill you on the facts of what do you know about what you're talking about. And in these debates, you got to keep your shit together. You can't just get mad because you don't know the answer. If you don't feel like you're ready for debates, stay the hell out of them. Because you don't get a second chance. You really don't. So going into these debates and panels in the future, know what you're talking about, know what you're defending, have some good answers for hard questions and pressing questions, because they will come. And try not to say anything stupid, because I've said words before and I don't take those words back, and I'm willing to defend them in an open debate to show the hypocrisy of this very kind of bullshit. And we got to fix it as Americans. We'll continue.
How many? No, you just said police. How many unarmed black men die at the hands of police every year?
Did I say that is the reason
you
why
just said police?
Policing is an issue.
How? You're right. We don't have enough police on the streets of black neighborhoods.
The police department is way more funded than our normal.
What is the #1 cause of black death in Chicago?
Are you serious?
Other blacks killing blacks.
Are y'all saying other blacks?
Yes.
Other blacks?
Who's killing the blacks from Chicago? A bunch of kids from Highland Park?
22% Hispanic. That's very, very, very broad. Where are those locations at?
Where
are those locations at?
East. No.
You're saying East Garfield? You've never been to East Garfield in your life.
Yes, I went once and I'll never return.
You're from East Garfield? You've never been to East Garfield in your life.
Tell me very clearly.
So we're saying these locations is these smaller locations.
Who is killing the blacks in Chicago?
Who is killing them? Of 1,000 African Americans who you're taking statistics from communities.
Who is killing? No, I want to have a conversation with you.
What did you expect?
Who is killing them?
Who is killing African Americans?
Yes.
People are killing people.
No. What race is killing them?
Why are y'all trying to act like African Americans are just solely murdered? People are killing people.
No. What race is killing? Is it white people killing blacks or blacks killing blacks?
People are killing people, Charlie.
Okay, but hold on. What race is killing the other race?
What race is killing what race more? That does not matter.
It does matter because it's a black-on-black problem.
It's a
and blacks need to solve the problem of black-on-black violence.
Is it a black-on-black problem or is it a crime problem?
It's a black-on-black problem that is a crime problem. Because I'll tell you what, if it was a bunch of kids from Deerfield coming in with guns, it would be a white problem. But somehow,
exactly.
If it was a black-on-black problem, it's a crime problem. It's systemic injustice. If the police fund the funding.
What you're saying is, Charlie, you're forgetting that these locations that you're bringing up are secluded by these races. So these races might have an easier time with policing, and yeah, they're going to have nearly response time of 2 seconds.
Wait, it's the police's fault that so many blacks are killing other blacks?
Who just said that?
I want you to tell me, why is it that
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You got to be sophisticated in your debates. Don't take anything personal. I've been in quite a few debates, and a lot of them will go to people resorting to name calling and getting mad. And all that proves is they don't have the... what's the word? It's unbecoming of an officer type of shit. But we're not officers, but it's unbecoming of a politician. You know, we've heard that before recently in the news. But you can't respond aggressively to debates. I mean, you can, but all it shows is that you don't have the mind for this kind of political work. And, emotional, hey, mac and cheese, emotional maturity, exactly. So, like when Nicholas Held was out protesting, or not protesting, but speaking the gospel to people at the hands-off protest, he's being kind, he's being nice. I don't agree with going to the high school. That was a stupid thing to do. I don't involve kids in anything. But, it just showed that some of the people on the left, they want to debate, but time and time again with Nicholas, he sticks to his guns and he continues to show them the hypocrisy of their own, And like I said, when people are like dropping the N-word or the F-word, it's just as guilty as blacks saying cracker, honky, and, whenever blacks gang up on a white guy, it's not a hate crime. Whenever blacks ganged up on me, it wasn't a hate crime. And I'm just speaking facts here. And I think that allowing people to... we're talking about reprobations or whatever, paying people for something they never went through, which I don't agree with. We can't throw money at a problem and expect it to get better because, how many people could win the lottery, they'll still be buying drugs, and stuff like that. It's just the way it is, because even those problems out of those communities, when they come into newer communities, start spawning up, and those are just the facts of the situation right there. We'll continue watching this, though. It's interesting.
Americans are 13% of the population, yet they commit 55% of the murders.
Let me rewind that some. I didn't catch that. I'm yapping too much.
With policing, and yeah, they're going to have nearly response time of 2 seconds.
Wait, it's the police's fault that so many blacks are killing other blacks?
Who just said that?
You did.
I said that?
Yes. No, I want you to tell me, why is it that black Americans are 13% of the population, yet they commit 55% of the murders?
Where can you show me that?
Again, it's FBI statistics. It's well known.
FBI statistics? Where can you show me that at?
It is.
Can you give me...
See, this is the other thing where people are like, they question what you say, and they're like, I've heard this a lot, where can you show me this at? Or I want you to pull it up on your phone. It's your job to know the facts, because when somebody speaks facts and somebody challenges the facts, like, you need to show me this or I won't believe you. And it is a fact. It shows a weakness in their debate that they're looking for anything. They're grabbing at straws to try to turn it on you because they want to stoop you up off something that has nothing to do with the conversation at hand. Deflecting in a way, I guess. Oh, and this guy's at the top 3% school.
ChatGPT asked Grok.
Why would I ask ChatGPT when ChatGPT has shown? Prove it. What?
Prove it again. Anyone near you can.
Hold on. Don't go to ChatGPT for it. Like, come on, guys. People have tried to write got in trouble for plagiarism. You can't expect AI to answer honest questions. You got to do your own research.
Show you the stats, right? It's right there. Look, man.
Let's read it. 70% of offenders were African American. Wait, put it back up.
All right, there it is right there. He wanted to see proof, and he was given proof. And let's see his response now, because this guy in the psychological game is playing basically like he wants to win this argument by trying to bring up shit that has nothing to do with anything, and he's constantly confronted with what Charlie says is true, facts, statistics. So I'll see his response. I haven't watched this all, but his name's Charlie Kirk. He's Christian, and he's a very smart man, and I look up to him.
Pull it back up. Boo, yeah. Charlie, for the sake of myself, I really do appreciate the ability to debate with you, man.
I want you to think about what I asked you.
Okay, you mind if I have a hat?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Give him a Trump hat in the end.
Thank you.
And he likes doing these debates, and I want to go meet this guy someday and get a hat myself. It's pretty cool, but just wanted to come here and show you this kind of stuff that I do watch since I've stopped being left. And it feels so much more right to say what's on your mind than to sit there and agree with a bunch of people who don't even really have the same beliefs at all, and it's just a strong arm movement that, it's a tyranny, and I keep saying it's a tyranny in itself. And we're going to see it more in the news. There's going to be more people out there committing anarchy, and, they're doing it in the name of what? In the name of not getting your way, in the name of getting your feelings hurt, in the name of having facts put in your face, and then asking, well, why is it like this? If this says that, and you can get backed up into a quarter quick in debates, but the one thing you want to do is you want to know what's going on. You want to know as much information as you can about what people could possibly say and how to counteract that and show them this is really how it is. And I think our country has gone down a rabbit hole, or more like a shithole, of us being told that we have to, hey, they can do whatever they want, no matter what, they can never be racist. These guys here, they could sleep with each other against the Bible's word, but if you don't accept them at their drag children shows, you're a bigot. You hate gays. You're anti-gay. And and if you speak out about facts of statistics, then you're a racist. And all these labels are put on us in society to keep us at bay, to keep us quiet. When we speak up about stuff like this guy's speaking up, and he's speaking the truth that needs to be heard. So anybody who is devoid or just doesn't understand or doesn't want it, I think it would be more people who don't want to understand at this point. They have their minds made up. You're not going to change it. They want things the way they want it, and that's the problem. It just isn't you guys out there. There's also the other side of people who oppose all that shit and say that enough is enough, and they stand up for it. So people like me, people like Charlie Kirk, people who are on Trump's side, there's a lot of us out there. But, people tend to see a person by themselves, and they want to be like, okay, well, if you're going to be talking all this stuff, we're going to do something to you. We're going to try to scare you. And how's that not some communist bullshit? Because if we don't take control of this bullshit now, these people all these guys who are pushing the leftist agenda are essentially going to fucking destroy our country. And we cannot let this country be destroyed by these free-minded people who support communism, who support Marxism, socialism, but yet they're hypocritical enough to sit there and stand and tell people, hey, if I don't like what you're saying, you're going to be met with violence. If you come to these protests and you're wearing a Trump hat, we're going to assault you. We're going to cover up your cameras. It's disgusting to see. That is the only reaction uneducated people can come up out with, is violence, because they do not know how to use their fucking brains to solve any problems. And it's up to people like us to solve the problems for them, because they're not going to figure it out when they have a closed mind. You want to have an open mind conversation? That's what it takes. That's true diversity. This little debate right here is true diversity. And as uncomfortable as it makes some people feel because you pick a side and you agree with the other, I mean, I look at this guy, Charlie Kirk, and I agree with a lot he says. And I look at this stuff on the left side, and, you know, and I like, wow, it's just, what the fuck was I in Antifa for? Really? But, you know, all that time and experience, I still got that. So, know a lot about you guys. I mean, you can never take that away from me. And I know, I feel so much happier being on God's side and Jesus Christ's side, and I feel free. Hey, Mama Red, how you doing? Or Red Mama, how you doing, Red Mama? Absolutely. Some people's mama spared the rod. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is, it's crazy. Like, this guy he's amazing. He just inspires me, because I watch him and I see, like, we have so much more in common than I ever did with the left. Just speaking your mind, and it inspires me, because it lets me know there's more people out here who believe like stuff like that. And even though I haven't, like, personally, like, been around a lot of people in real life, but over the internet like this, it's a start, you know. And, like, I'm happy for that. So God bless America. Great. That's good to hear, Red Mama. I was gonna ask, how's Red doing? I haven't caught up on any streams lately, because I've just been busy. I'll look at that and say it now. But here's Charlie Kirk. There you go. Every time, this one's like 14, but I'll just play it in the background.
Texas.
Nope, no Texas. Alright, so, no Dachi, Kilmar, Umbergro, Garcia deserves to be free. Is that guy who's at the jail in El Salvador? Sorry. If that's him, yeah, he should come home. He should definitely come home, because, like, mistakes happen. They're fixing it.
Yeah, I don't think you have
Admiral Red, holy fucking shit, man. Holy shit, I have not talked to you in a minute, bro. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you, Red Mama. Yeah, I rang, man. I gotta come back on panel with you guys sometime. I tried to... Hold on, let this liberal shut up for a minute. I went on Red Mama's show, but it kind of, like, went south, because I think Anarchy Princess showed up undercover, and it got weird, and I was trying to talk about stuff, and she kept cutting off what I was saying, so she's just trolling and shit. So I just decided to leave. I'd love to talk with both of you again about stuff in this country and what we should do. And I'd love to hear your ideas on stuff with this Neo-Antifa. It's a unity thing, but as far as like my political views go, yeah, I'm a pro-Trump now, and not part of Antifa anymore. And like I said, I feel a lot better because of that, you know, with all that BS. I saw on Anarchy's channel posting up some stuff between, was it Jersey J? And I did see you Red there, and then, like, it was Big D was there. So I don't know if everybody, like, gets along with those guys or what's going on, because I've been so involved in, like, NYCRL and keeping up on that. But I want to get back and catch up on what's going on with the movements and DC jail, and, you know, I remember the DC Rats. I almost forgot about them and Whistle Girl. Anarchy used to talk about them so much. But yeah, let me read this. Saying, bro, I'm doing good. Working out, getting some schooling done. I've been doing a lot of IRL, going out and doing stuff. Got New York coming up, New York City coming up, round 2. I know you were there before, you know, when you went with Jersey J, Telescope, Mel, and it was a long time ago, but yeah, I watched all that a long time ago. Oh, you only stream on Rumble now? All right, well then I'm going to have to take down your Rumble information. And I've never been on Rumble, but somebody's told me about Rumble, and then somebody else wants to play Black Ops 6 on Twitch, some Emily or something like that, so we're going to link up with her and play online. AP's always been weird. Yeah, she has been weird. I don't understand. Like, I just wish Baldy Banks and AP would just say the truth about what the fuck happened to Sam. You know, with Samson, she was cool with me, and like I don't have any problem with her. But basically, from what I heard, was she moved in with them because she was homeless and started fucking Baldy, and then Sam was out of the picture. But I know where they live, and Philadelphia, because Anarchy was so nice to take so many fucking videos from outside of their apartment building. So I saw the train tracks, and it wasn't long before I found out exactly where they lived. But I'm just being real with you. We're not gonna dox them. I don't give a fuck about them, and they don't seem to like put my name in their mouths. So fucking kind of like Wizzy. I guess those days are over, so we don't have to deal with shitheads like that anymore, right? Your best friend is a liberal. Yeah, you know. It's a personal choice. It is. Stuff like this, though, I like it because it shows some of the hypocrisy about liberals, though, and it really does, like, put into perspective, like, when you start asking questions and pressing people, some people, like I said, when they get mad in their response, it's irritating, but you're in control of that debate at that point, because when people are getting mad and raising their voice and acting out of character, it pretty much means the debate is just about over, because they have nothing left in their tool of, nothing left in their disposal to throw at you. So all they have is anger, aggression, and name calling, and it just shows the true nature of what happens when a whiny little shit doesn't get their way and they want to cry about stuff. And that's the best way I could put it. I don't want to be so frank about it, but this political correctness of bullshit that we've been living under for 4 fucking years, it's getting us nowhere. And I will always say it's got us nowhere, with the open borders, with the fucking goddamn all the crap going on in the world. And we got to take control of this country, and we got to make it great again. And I told that to Nicholas, and he wasn't a Trump supporter, but I still stood where I was. And it's my right as a veteran to support whoever the fuck I want. So if I don't want to be left anymore and decide to walk away because of all the hypocritical bullshit, and the fact that not only did the DC chairman of Antifa, the fake ass Mina, and her little friends just run around and all they do is troll people and have their dumb little Twitter pages or their X pages where they have panels with the same fucking people almost every other night. You know, those people didn't give a fuck about the Palestinian protests. They were too busy watching you guys, you know? And it's just sad, but if they want to sit around on the computers the rest of their lives staring at other people talking shit about them, let them, because 5 years from now, they're not going to grow. There's just a group of misfits who have nothing better to do than watch other people and talk shit about them. I'd rather get politically involved, and we have, and we've met the mayor, we've met some council members, we've gone to some stuff with say all parties, and it's a start. It's a start to get politically involved. Yeah, you are right, Mac and Cheese Bites. You are responsible how you choose to react, and always try to remain calm, but read the other person, you know, because when people start getting angry, you know, assaults can happen. But if that does kind of like stuff happen in debate, it's a win for us, because it shows, hey, look, this person is not fit for office, and they never will be, because they like to go around attacking people who don't agree with them. And I guess that's what always been like a strong arm on the left side is, you know, you're labeled as a Nazi, you're labeled as a fucking bigot, you're labeled as a fucking all this shit if you don't support their agenda. What are we labeled as if we don't support fucking open borders for people who become citizens of this country by breaking the law, and then talk about constitutional rights whenever they're doxing federal workers going after criminals who have entered this country illegally? It's got to stop. We gotta fucking have a better vetting process, of course, but shut the fucking border down if you have to. Nothing comes in, nothing comes out, until we internally start fixing the problems from the past 4 years and it gets under control. then we can open that border back up. But as of right now, I don't think we should be taking in any more people. Maybe some who really have been vetted and are trying to escape tyranny. But if you look at that, or trying to escape, bad shit, how long can we honestly just let people in like that too? I mean, America first means that we're gonna have to make hard choices, and we need to close up that border for now and deal with the issues we have through dialogue like this. And people aren't always going to get along, but hopefully both parties take away from something from this, whether you're liberal or you support Trump. Or the takeaways from this is more of these conversations need to be had, and they need to be had where people are accepting the fact that we're all Americans and we have a right to disagree. And when we agree to disagree, I think things are going to get a lot better. Oops, what did I do there? I think we just lost it. Yep, we just lost him. Well, we'll click on this one, but let me read these. I ate my lib friends with onions and green peppers. Fuck. Oh my god, that sounds like something you do, Red. Fucking eat them. As you can know, I've said a few words that online on streams that could, like, probably know what I've said, but I've been pissed off so bad. So when I said what I said, I still stand by what I said. And like I said, anybody who fucking wants to talk shit about that, I got my own dialogue to defend it, which makes a lot of people look like hypocrites. It's harder than ever before. But I don't want to be racist. But if being racist is pointing out shit that's right there in front of us to people of different colors who aren't white, and they get mad about it, and then I guess I'm a fucking Nazi, right? And I guess I'm a Nazi, so yeah. Star Fox is a Nazi. Star Fox is a fascist. Star Fox is... Actually, I was a fascist when I was in fucking Antifa, if you think about it. But, now I'm a fucking Nazi, fascist, flag-waving, fucking white supremacist. Oh, man. All because I speak my mind. That's a problem right there. Thank you, Mac and Cheese Bites. I appreciate the comments, all of you guys. But I don't know how long this one is, like 12 minutes. But I'll show this video, then I'm probably gonna dip off the live. But I wanted to show you guys Charlie Kirk. He's a real good guy, and you should look into him and listen to a lot of that he says, because he's very inspiring to me to have somebody just say how it is and then just see the response.
We have a singular question. Yeah, right. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
This guy's like Joel Osteen for the right side to me.
I agree with most of your beliefs and stances on things, besides
Israel.
No, there's one.
I guessed.
There's one topic that I disagree with your logic on. And I've seen when you debate other people on this topic, oftentimes they get kind of shooed off the mic. So I ask that you please give me a fair chance to debate. I believe that the breeding, exploitation, and killing of animals for food when we do not have to is immoral. And obviously you...
Did you lose a bet?
So again, I'm serious. I would ask for a fair chance at a debate without shooting me off the mic or making jokes, please.
What do you eat?
He's setting conditions.
What do I eat? Like for protein?
Sure.
Vegan.
I eat tofu, nutritional yeast, seitan. I easily get over 200 grams of protein per day.
It's a lot of tofu to get 200 grams of protein, then.
That's not my... I have like about a pound a day. That's not my main source. That gives me about 40 a day. But...
I'm going to say right here, if I was debating this guy, not a lot of the vegans, like, I understand the animal rights shit. I've seen the pig farms and how pigs are, like, turned into bacon and stuff. A lot of livestock, puts food on the table for us. It helps. Everybody enjoys a good steak. These veganists usually are middle-class people who can afford to be vegan, because if you don't have the money to be vegan, guess what? You're not vegan anymore. You're going to starve. But these guys, they're usually pretty soft, and they have a superiorist mindset towards essentially like, oh, well, because I don't eat animals, everybody should not eat animals. And that's never going to happen. It's a minority group. But we'll hear what he has to say.
I get 200 grams a day for lifting. In terms of actual health for humans, we do not need that much. We barely even need 100 grams a day, which is easily obtained through plants.
Okay, so what is your contention? That we should outlaw or make it harder to eat animal-based protein?
No, I'm not as much concerned about the legality of it, more so the morality.
Okay, so
oh my god, dude, he says, see, this is what I mean, is these guys, not a big group, and nothing against vegans, because I know Zaddy Zavid's a vegan in Old Mansion. You know, everybody has a right to eat what they eat, but don't push your morals into a world where the gears already spin, where we have agriculture and the system works somewhat. I mean, is he essentially trying to argue the fact, because I'm vegan, because I make enough money to choose not to eat meat, because you gotta have money to fucking do that, all of a sudden now everybody else, you know, morally, because of my individualist or small group mindset of what we want, you know, they want to push their agenda, like, what, we're going to outlaw meat, or I want to hear what this guy has to say. I imagine he's probably going to say something along the lines that we need to stand up for animal rights and shut down fucking meat processing plants, which also employ a lot of immigrants, by the way, because who do you think's spraying those factories while all the whites are sleeping at night? And that's just a fact right there. Not racist, it's just a fact. I'm going to shut up and watch this, though.
Are human beings equal to cows?
I would put human beings above cows.
Okay, so what moral?
Yeah,
we don't,
I
we
agree,
don't want
mac
to
and
see animal
cheese.
cruelty, but what moral worth would you say a cow has?
I would say that
in India, no, I'm playing.
Cow has worth in the sense that we should not, like any sentient animal, cause them suffering or kill them if we do not have to.
Right. So you don't eat fish either, I assume?
I don't eat any animal products at all.
No animal products. And no dairy?
No.
So full vegan?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Do you know you know that there would actually be fewer cows if we didn't eat them?
I'm aware, yes.
So you would argue for less cows, not more cows, basically?
I'm against the breeding, exploitation, and slaughter of them for food.
What obligations do...
There's just one thing I say. With all this shit going on in this country, this dude's agenda is way the fuck off. Like, shit like this should be, no offense, but at the bottom of priorities right now. Honestly, it should be at the bottom of priorities. Like, I don't have a problem with vegans. Do what you gotta do. But this country is running the way it is right now. But it's shit like this is just, oh my God.
We have to wild animals.
I mean, the animals that we eat are not wild animals. They're domesticated, and we specifically breed, control, and kill them. We control their whole life, so they're not really wild.
Should we stop other animals from being carnivores?
No, because those animals need to eat. Like a lion needs to eat an antelope to survive. So in a survival situation, I believe it is okay to eat animals, but in the modern day, we do not need to. And I believe that we were designed by God not needing to eat meat.
What scripture are you referencing?
Genesis 1:29.
Right, and it's you mean the scripture?
That was before Cain and Abel, and that was before everything changed.
It says God gave dominion over the animals.
No, the one
of
that
the earth.
says I've given you every seed-bearing plant, fruit, and tree on this earth, and for you that shall be meat.
Right, but again, just to continue a little further, to be clear, in the Noahic covenant, it does allow for animals.
I'm aware. So after the flood...
And just to be clear, doesn't the law give guidance on how to kill animals? Like how to kill animals in certain ways? The Bible is explicitly pro-meat eating, so much so that they would kill an animal as a sacrifice to God, or kill the fatted calf in celebration.
That's how Cain and Abel got into it.
When Jesus came,
one was vegetables, the other was
sacrifice, the animal sacrifice. So Again, I think during that time there was a lot more food shortage.
Well, hold on. Jesus ate fish. He fed the 5,000 with fish.
Yeah, so like I said.
And so
that's nice.
I don't understand. But Jesus didn't say, stop, don't eat the fish. They are sentient beings. He fed fish to people.
So like I said, in a survival situation where there's 5,000 people...
There was also bread.
Yeah, but the bread has no protein. So in a survival
situation... But he was... Hold on. Jesus is God. He could have been, here's a legume. Jesus is God. He could have said, here's an almond. He said, Jesus is God. He could have, here's a lentil. Yet Jesus said, here's fish. So who are you to question Jesus who he fed the 5,000 with? He could have said, here's tofu.
Again, so the disciples brought...
I forgot about those. It happens.
Brought him fish and bread. That was what he multiplied.
Yeah, the feeding of the 5,000, right?
But I think in this modern day, we do not need to eat meat to be healthy, have good performance, and survive.
This is exactly like some people who come in and they're like, we need to have open borders. This is people like who are like, I think, and somebody says, I think. It's like, okay. We're giving voices to people sometimes who have no fucking idea what they're talking about. But we give them a voice. We give them a chance. And your argument needs to be concrete in what you believe in. This guy seems like, I think. I mean, I don't think he's really going to say anything aside from just, he's here to just push his ideology or his belief about animals. He's not here to really argue. He's here to just share his beliefs, in my opinion.
And therefore causing immense suffering to these beings that do feel pain and suffering is wrong.
So I know this might seem unrelated, but I would hope to say you're also pro-life, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you are consistent. When vegans are not pro-life, that is a...
Yeah, I'm overall conservative. I agree with you on pretty much everything besides this one issue.
But you would agree, though, animals are not humans.
Yes.
Okay. But you would say, if I eat a steak, am I doing something immoral?
I would say that if you eat a steak knowing that, and you didn't have to, and you chose to pay for an animal...
Yes, I plan to do this tonight, so tell me what... tell me...
So, like I said, I think the breeding, exploitation, and killing...
You're showing the hypocrisy behind this. You know, it's amazing.
Killing of animals for food is immoral, yes.
Immoral?
Yes.
What moral... By what moral standard do you derive that from?
Well, are you against animal cruelty?
Of course I am. No one wants cruelty. In fact, the Bible is explicitly against animal cruelty. And so all of us should be. The animals actually made an appearance in the 10 Commandments. Animals got a Sabbath. They got a day off. It says, for 6 days you shall work and 1 day you shall rest, including your ox and your animal. So the Bible actually has done more for animal rights than any other ancient scripture that we can ever find. So I'm all there. No one wants animal cruelty. However, I just want to understand, by what moral framework do you say it is immoral to eat the meat of something that is not human, especially if we get nutrients and we human beings are able to flourish?
Well, I would say, why are you against animal cruelty?
Well, first of all, no one wants to see...
You know what I'd say to this guy? Well, like, you ever served your country? All right. You ever gone to war? And if you went to war, it should be like, what are you going to do if there's no vegan MREs? You going to just starve yourself and let your enemy run all over you? Or are you going to eat whatever you have to eat to survive in order to fight? And if this guy was like, oh, well, I just chose not to eat. And if we had a whole army of people thinking like him morally, there wouldn't be an army. Too much freedoms, it tends to make people... I mean, look at this shit with the fucking... What is it? Fucking, I'm a pansexualist. I identify as a fucking cow. I identify as an alien. You know how many of these transsexuals I've seen who have no fucking argument. You know, they're just basically like, if somebody believes there's something, then that's what they are. Okay, well, what if I believe I'm a psychotic serial killer? Does that make me a psychotic serial killer?
Something suffer unnecessarily, but if and when you are able to derive calories, nutrients, and I would also contest one of the other things, that I do believe we need animal-based protein. In fact, I think one of the main reasons, and maybe you're able to work it out, that young men are seeing such a dramatic drop in testosterone rates is the removal of animal-based proteins from diets for young men, especially ages 10, 11, and 12.
All the liberals probably want that. LGBTQ probably want it, you know?
So studies have found that
and they don't have to do child sex changes.
There's zero difference between in testosterone levels between animal-based diet. And
have you ever heard the term soy boy?
Yes, of course. I am a soy boy. Yes.
You are a soy boy.
In terms of that's what people.
Bro, I've heard that thrown around in New York City a lot.
I've heard of the term.
Yes,
okay.
I've heard of the term. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's because.
But again, I don't want to get too deep in the biology, but soy is inherently estrogenic, right?
So soy has phytoestrogens. They're not actual estrogens. They work in the body similar to a SERM, which is a selective estrogen receptor modulator. What that actually does, in some situations, that can actually lower estrogen in males if they have an estrogen imbalance, and
suppress testosterone production.
It does not suppress the testosterone production. Studies have found equal testosterone between meat eaters and vegans, considering calories and protein equal. In addition, many professional athletes
No. The consumption of soy. The consumption of soy.
Yeah, I mean, most in order to
let's get down to one last question though, just from a very technical one. Wouldn't you agree that it is far more expensive to eat vegan than to eat animal-based
Exactly.
protein? You have to go out.
What did I fucking say? Exactly. I'm good. Sorry, I'm happy. I don't know why. It's so weird, isn't it?
It's about the same. Like a pound of when I before I went vegan, I'd have 93% ground beef for lean protein. That'd be at Aldi, it was $6. So now I eat seitan, which most people don't know.
Bro goes to Aldi for meat. There's nothing wrong with that.
But it has in 400 calories, it has 80 grams of protein, and it's only $5. So I mean, it's not that expensive to eat vegan.
So, but let me just ask you one last question on this, because almost everything you consume
would he force his children to be vegan?
Either manufactured or put together, where actually the way we're arguing to eat is far more of the earth and far more of whole foods. The vegans actually have to go out of their way to try and have different ingredients and compositions and oils that largely are far more human interference into the consumption of the food process, right? Which one is more of the earth, eating vegan or eating, let's just say, more paleo, not necessarily carnivore?
So I'll answer that, then I have one question to ask back to you. In terms of the food itself, I eat mostly pretty much just whole food vegan. Sometimes I'll eat a vegan, Impossible Burger. That's not necessarily healthy.
No, time out, hold on. That is the most manufactured.
I know, that's not healthy.
Not even healthy. Now you're proving my point. Let's just be clear. An Impossible Burger has 50 ingredients that you cannot pronounce, and it is made in a lab. Literally, it's lab grown meat.
Yeah.
And versus a cow.
I understand.
I'm not eating lab-grown meat unless I have to survive. That's the difference, though. Is I would go vegan if all we had is vegan food. I'd eat it to survive.
Or an Impossible Burger. It's a double cheeseburger every single day.
Hell yeah!
It's not even close. It's not even close.
That's fair. But either way.
And let me interrupt.
You can eat mostly whole
the fact that we have to make Frankenfood, Frankenstein food, is one of the greatest arguments that we should continue to eat real meat.
I eat only whole foods.
No, I got it. But you're the one that brought up Impossible Burgers. I didn't.
I know.
Right?
I was saying that you're gonna keep going and saying that that's not an example. A lot of people use that as an example to shame veganism. Well, that's not an example of a.
I am curious. How did you get into this?
I first got into it by I saw how animals were treated in factory farms, which is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this guy having vegan food is not going to change the fact that the agricultural or freaking industrial food market is going to stop doing what they're doing, you know. So he wants to make it, oh, well, the animals are being treated bad, so I refuse to eat the animals that go through that suffering, eventually to put food on our table, something like that. I've seen the videos, they're horrific, but also I know that not all places are like that. Some of these activists go to these places, and like there's even like chicken farms where you're not allowed to go in because people will sneak in there and they'll try to get like footage of stuff. And yeah, there are places where it's bad. It's also a crime, so you can't go into these food places filming stuff like that. So I would think the problem, it does exist, but it's not going to make me stop eating food because, like I said, we need food to survive. If everybody turned vegan in the United States tomorrow, we'd fucking starve. And yeah, we'll have animals walking around when we're starving, like, oh, that's a nice cow. It can make us some nice ribeye, pot roast, hamburgers. Oh, but we're not going to eat it, though, because this guy says it's immoral. Maybe you should move to India.
99% of meat sold in America is factory farmed. So a lot of people say, oh, grass-fed, pasture-raised.
I mean, look,
that is only a small percentage.
I think that's the end of it. Well, shut it down here. It's fine. I don't want to sound like a dick. I'm just speaking freely, so I don't want to offend anybody. If you're vegan, you're vegan. I don't care if you're gay, if you're trans, if you're black, if you're Muslim. It doesn't matter, you know. It doesn't matter, but I enjoy watching this kind of stuff. And like I said, it does inspire me. So that being said, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in. Mac and Cheese Bikes, Mama Red, or Red Mama, sorry. Red, and we'll see you on a show sometime in the future on Rumble. And anybody else who might have popped in here. Noah Daughtry, what's up, bro? And yeah. Oh shit, new comments. All right, we're good. But y'all take it easy. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day. Oh, look, the J6 hostages. My friend Psychotic. That friendship changed my life. Peace out.